Hello and welcome or welcome back to another one of my videos. Now, in today's video, this is 2 weeks later than I would have posted it. Usually that's because I was doing my whole Throne of Glass reading vlog series. If you want to go check that out. We're doing my May reading wrap up. If you have seen the Throne of Glass series, then you know full and well what I read in the month of May. But we're not going to talk about that because all of those videos, I did them with spoilers. So, it's going to be spoiler-free review time. We started the month off with The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. Now, if you are thinking about reading the Throne of Glass series, 100% recommend it. Do it, read it, amazing. But be emotionally prepared. Like, just prepare your brain that you are gonna have your heart crushed, because it was heart crushing. And a lot of people argue about the reading order, and I read The Assassin's Blade first. And I think if you like reading sad books, if you like a good cry from a book, if you like feeling more like emotions toward a book, then you should read The Assassin's Blade first, because there's a very big thing that happens at the end of this book, and a lot of people, like, obviously if you've read the book you know what I'm talking about, and that gets spoiled in Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight and in Heirfire, depending what order you want to read it in. It gets spoiled. So if you, well, you're already gonna know what's gonna happen since it's been talked about. So that's just my thoughts and feelings on that subject. But it got a 4.75 star rating from me. Amazing book. It's so underhyped. Whenever I see people talking about the Throne of Glass series, they always put Assassin's Blade last. What do you mean? No, she's amazing. Assassin's Blade is amazing. Fight me. Then we move on to Throne of Glass, which is the first book in the series, and it got a 4.5 star rating. This was so fun to read. I was expecting it to be way more of a dragging book. I thought it was going to be way slower because of how people were talking about it. It wasn't. Well, at least for me, I loved the friendship in this. I loved the little found family. Yeah, I'm gonna say found family. I loved the friendship. I loved the found family. I loved the characters in this book. I love everything. This book is such a good book, such a good first book to a series. Because so many books that are first books in the series, I find personally that they're either boring because most of it's world building, or that they're just like you don't really like. It's not that you don't like, but you don't feel an emotional connection to the characters, so you're like, alright, they can be friends, I don't really care. But this Throne of Glass changed that to me. I really liked Throne of Glass. Then we read Crown of Midnight, which got 5 stars. So fun. It was an extension of Throne of Glass, obviously. Like, it took place in the same place. We had the same set of characters who I was already prepared for. Heartbreaking stuff happened. Not heartbreaking stuff happened. Shocks happened. I got mad at a character. I didn't get mad at a character. So much happened, and it was so fun. Then Heirfire, 4.75 stars. Now, in this book, you got introduced to more characters, to new places. This book kind of, in my opinion, this book really is starting the build up for what the rest of the series is going to follow. It starts the build up, the setup. It doesn't tell you basically what's going to happen, but you get introduced to very quite important characters for later on in the series. So you're kind of like, okay, you can piece together what's probably gonna go down at the end of the series. Then we have Queen of Shadows, which got 5 stars. This book now this book tells you basically upfront what's happening at the end of the series, what is gonna go down, what they're fighting towards. There are so many little side plots that I loved. I love the character development that we see from Selena in this book. It was so beautiful. Same with Heirfire. Heirfire and Queen of Shadows were such good for character development. They were wonderful. I loved them. Yeah. Then we move on to Empire Storms and Tower of Dawn. Now, I gave Empire Storms 5 stars, Tower of Dawn 4.75 stars, because I found Tower of Dawn to be a little bit slow at some points. Now, if you want to read these books, everyone says to do the tandem read. I did the tandem read, and I really recommend it, because they take place in the same time with different characters. I was able to differentiate the books a lot. I still cared really much about the characters in each book, and I literally do not have a problem with switching chapters, because the whole time I wanted to know what was happening in the other book. So it's not like I was like going to one book and I was like, because I was like, yeah, I'm ready to read this because so much just happened and we gotta elaborate on that. Another reason I really recommend doing the tandem read: Empire of Storms ends on the biggest cliffhanger I have ever read. So, if you don't do the tandem read, you're gonna read Empire of Storms, get to that cliffhanger, and then have to read another 721 pages before you get to the resolution of that cliffhanger. And I feel like if I didn't do the tandem read, then I would just resent Tower of Dawn, because I'd be like, I don't want to read this. Like, I need to know what happens next. Like, whoa, please tell me what happens next. Because it takes place at the same time. You get transported basically to the past. So I really recommend doing the tandem read. I was like, oh, am I going to get confused? I didn't get confused at all. I feel like it was really easy, like I said, to differentiate the two books. It was also just such a fun experience. It really was. I had such a fun time reading Tower of Dawn and Empire Storms. Even though I thought I wasn't gonna like it, because at the start of Tower of Dawn, I didn't particularly like one character in it. I didn't have too strong of an emotional attachment to like the characters it followed, but it grew on me. So those are the books I read in the month of May. I had such a fun time reading the Throne of Glass series. I hugely recommend it if you have been looking to read fantasy. But if you're more of a romance reader and you're looking to get into fantasy, then I don't know. Like, if you want to read something with a bit more romance in it, start off with ACOTAR. That's got like 10 times more romance. This Throne of Glass does have romance, but it's very much more of a side plot. The main focus ain't the romance, it's the mission, it's what's going on. It's ready to prepare for everything that's about to happen. But if you're looking more into like found family stuff, if you like found family much more than, let's say, romance, or romance isn't as important to you, but you love found family, you know, read this for the found family. Because in this, the found family is 10 times better than the found family in ACOTAR. I like the characters in this 10 times more than I liked the characters in ACOTAR, and that's not saying I don't like the characters in ACOTAR. I love them, but I just love the characters in Throne of Glass so much, and the character development and everything, and it's just such a beautiful series, such beautiful books. So yeah, I read 7 books in the month of May. I finished Kingdom of Ash in this month, so that you're gonna have to wait until the start of next month to find out my thoughts on that are spoiler free. And yeah, that's all I have to say. If you have been on the fence about reading the Throne of Glass series, go read it. It's amazing, it's wonderful. Recommend it with my soul. It's just, and also, if you're gonna read out, I recommend, this is what I did for the last, since I was filming, I didn't really find the need to do notes, but I did do notes for Empire Storms, Tower of Dawn, and Kingdom of Ash. Do note, like, if you don't want to film it, write down notes, because then you'll know, like, what you were thinking, and you'll look back on that and be like, she was so innocent, she was so pure, because that's what I did most of the time while editing that whole vlog of me reading the Throne of Glass series. That's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week with another video. Bye!